have aerophobia, which means I'm afraid of flying.
My phobia is coulrophobia, fear of clowns.
I have emetophobia, which is the fear of vomit.
My phobia is bathmophobia, which is the fear of stairs with no back.
My phobia is amaxophobia, which is the fear of being in a car while it's driving.
My phobia is masklophobia, which is the fear of masks and mascots.
What is your name?
Freya.
And what is your phobia?
Omphalophobia, the fear of belly buttons.
What is your name?
Aidan.
What is your phobia?
It's called meteorophobia, which is the fear of meteors or asteroids hitting the Earth. So it started when I was in year 6, which was about 14 years ago. I was in school and we were learning about the fossils and dinosaurs and all of that. My teacher told us that the dinosaurs died from the asteroid hitting the Earth. I asked if it could hit us now. My teacher kind of shrugged it off, and yeah, it's kind of just been on my mind ever since.
There's two things I remember happening when I was younger that might have been the cause. When I was really little, I shared a room with my brother, and at one point he had this really horrible infection. It was really nasty and crusty and stuff, and I still can't really talk about it. That's probably as much as I can say. And then there was another time when I was a little bit older, when my mom told me a story about when she went to get her belly button pierced with her sister, and she went to this dodgy place. She didn't tell me exactly like what type of place it was, but she didn't think it was professional. Her sister went first, and she asked to hold her hand because she was nervous, but my mom said that she saw her do it, and they used a hook, and apparently it was so horrible that she ended up having to have her hand squeezed, and then she didn't go through with it anyways. I realised probably very early as a high school that I had this phobia because I tried to watch this YouTube video by Rhett and Link, which was about them. I think they had like a sword battle or something with sticks in their belly buttons, and it made me feel so nauseous and like really paranoid. Eventually I mentioned to my parents how horrible belly buttons made me feel, and they laughed. But until then I kind of just assumed that everyone felt that way about them.
Would you say you try and avoid your phobia?
It's kind of hard to avoid, but it's also kind of hard to face. It's just more of a constant dread that I'm feeling. You know, it's like this underlying fear that something's going to happen.
Well, I try and avoid it in uncomfortable settings, but at home or with close friends, I'll occasionally mention it, kind of to try and help myself get over it. Luckily it doesn't come up very often, but you'd be surprised how often people touch their belly buttons or talk about things to do with it. In school everybody knew about it, and I'd have people trying to trigger me every day, and it normally worked. There's also occasionally intrusive thoughts that I have that can be quite damaging on worse days or days where it's more relevant.
How does having this phobia affect your life?
It's negative and positive. In a positive way, it means that I get to kind of live each day like it's last, you know, which is great. However, in the negative way, it's kind of this constant fear of nothing matters and what's the point, like we're all about to die at any point. So I have this app, it's called Night Sky. It allows me to check on everything that's going on in space, and which includes like stars, asteroids, the space station, all of that, using like your camera. I make sure I do a check at least once a day, if not more. On some of my bad days that can go up to maybe once an hour.
How do you feel about your phobia?
I used to hate it, but at this point it's like a part of me. I think if anything it just makes me a bit weird. I know it's going away and I feel good about myself whenever I make progress. I really think getting the piercing will be the end of it.
It's not great. It kind of sucks. It's hard because it's not prominent enough that I can go get like therapy or anything like that. So it just kind of sucks that it's just constantly on my mind.
Would you say you've overcome your phobia? Do you want to overcome it?
I wouldn't say I've overcome it. It's something I just live with. It's not constantly on my mind, but it's still kind of, like I said before, like an underlying thought. But yes, I would like to overcome it. I'm not sure entirely how I would do that though.
I think I've nearly overcome it. I mean, I can talk about it this much. I'm feeling a little bit odd about it, but it's definitely not as bad as it used to be. There's good days and bad days for sure. But I'm also actively trying to overcome it on my own and by talking to friends about it. So